Hey guys, one giant and one over there too. Two brand new dog parks. I don't know why they're separate. One for boys, one for girls. I don't know. Why do they have two? But yeah, they're both situated underneath the freeway. So if it's raining out, you can still come here. Your dogs can run around and play, and the ground won't even be wet. Yeah, that's great. And they give you free bags to pick up your dog's poop.
One of the reasons that I believe that there's more to this world than what we can just see is because I teleported once. Yeah, so long story short, I was riding my bicycle. I was a child. I was riding it on like a main road. A friend of mine by the name of David Melier was riding on the sidewalk to the right of me, and between us and the sidewalk there was like a grass, I think you would call that a boulevard, like about 4 or 5 feet of grass, and then the sidewalk, because that's how it is in Canada, and I miss that. You have the road, then a bit of grass for safety, and then a sidewalk. Here you don't even have a sidewalk. I was riding my bicycle, and he was riding on the sidewalk because his parents told him he wasn't allowed to ride on the roads. I was riding on the road just to show off because my parents don't give a shit about me, and well, I was allowed to, so I was showing off that I was allowed to. I was all riding my little bicycle on the side of the road like I'm doing right now, and all proud that I was allowed to be on the road. And then there was 2 lanes like this, but they're both going the same direction as me. And then big trucks and stuff are coming along like this one because it was a main road. But every time a big truck came up or a bus came up, they would give me a wide berth. And then at one point, I remember looking back and I saw a truck like this one to my left. Well, it was a bus actually. I saw a bus behind me coming up on me, and then to the left of the bus was a giant truck. So I literally had a city bus and a giant truck side by side coming down the road towards me. So the bus, like all the cars and trucks and buses were moving over and they're giving me a wide berth. But at this point you had a bus coming up on me with a giant truck next to him, and the bus could not move over to give me like extra space. They physically couldn't move over because they had a semi-trailer next to them. So this bus was going to pass me within a few inches because that's all the room it had. It couldn't move over to its left. That's all the room it could give me, spare me. So I'm going to slow down just for wind noise. So I got nervous, and what I did was I moved with my bicycle. I moved further over to the right to get as far away from the bus as I could, and when I got too far to the right, I hit the curb. There was about, like a 4-inch curb on the side of the road. So I bumped the curb with my front tire, and then the bike started to fall to the left. And if you're already starting to fall over on a bicycle to the left, about the only way you can save it is to like steer to the left quickly to get to steer into the fall. That way the bike, because you're already falling over to the left, you can't steer to the right. You'd just drop quicker. So I steered into the fall to try to upright myself, and what that means is I made a 90-degree left-hand turn directly in front of a bus doing 60 kilometers an hour that was about 12 feet behind me at this point. So yeah, I turned directly in front of the bus when it was physically impossible for it to brake and avoid hitting me / killing me. So yeah, I turned directly in front of the bus, and it was 10 feet away from me doing 60 kilometers an hour, and I knew it was gonna, like, I was pretty much in the center of the bus when I turned my head, and the bus is right there coming straight at me doing the speed limit. And so I closed my eyes because I didn't want to, see the bus hit me. And when I opened my eyes, I was on the sidewalk, which was, it would be like this. I was on the sidewalk over there. So I turned left in front of a bus, and then when I closed my eyes, I'm on the sidewalk over there. And my friend David, he's about 10, 15 feet directly in front of me, sitting on his bicycle with his hands over his eyes. So I asked him, I'm like, what just happened? And he's like, you turned in front of a bus and you were going to be killed. So I looked away. I didn't want to watch it. And when I looked back, you're behind me. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I felt happened too. And then we just sat there for a bit and like, well, what the heck happened? How did that happen? What happened? We don't know. And then just like kids, we just moved on with our day, like moved on with our life. And I'm sure everyone that we told the story to thought we were exaggerating or something, but we weren't. And that's one of the reasons why I've always been so insane on a motorcycle, because I thought I was like magically protected by some guardian angel. Like I had a huge God complex with regards to my mortality. So yeah, and my God complex was only like I did some crazy riding when I was younger. I'll give you an example. I used to do 75, 80 miles an hour, 150 kilometers an hour on the sidewalk while drunk through residential areas in Canada for like a half hour. You know, like it was just insane. I'd come up on intersections and I'd have a stop sign and the other people wouldn't. And I'd be doing 150 on the sidewalk. What am I going to do? Slow down for the stop sign? No, I just blow straight through them. And the sidewalks, they're handicap friendly, so they'd slant down as I'd reach each road, and then so as I'd reach each intersection, the sidewalk would slant down quickly, and I would bottom out, and I would see out of the corner of my eye sparks coming off my motorcycle, and then I'd hit the next sidewalk on the other side of the intersection, and it was sloped up, so I would jump, I'd be 3-4 feet in the air, and sometimes people's yards would have trees, and I'd be in the air smashing through branches. Like, it was crazy. And yeah, I was very drunk at the time, but like that's the kind of riding I did when I was like 19 years old. No, I remember that I was like 21 when I was that particular instance. Yeah, when I was like 19, 20, 21, I rode just absolutely suicidal, and that's partially because at that time of my life I was somewhat suicidal. So, you know, I just, and I never, not only did I never die, I never crashed, I never got hurt, you know, like, it was just so, yeah, so my whole life I've kind of thought, until I had my big accident where I broke everything and lost 2 fingers, I've kind of felt that I couldn't be hurt, and up until that point in my life, I wondered if I was like living in the Matrix, and maybe the whole world was just like computer generated for me, and everything else was fake, and everyone else was not real. Because like, yeah, the one time where I should have, like, I was about to die, everything just reset itself and I moved over. Like, how does that happen? So yeah, that's my video on teleportation.
I just went for a walk around this park, checked out the new dog parks over here with the white fenced in area. And what does my dog do? She hangs out over next to the parking lot. A second ago she was walking around in the parking lot.